Welcome back to our channel, Soap Squad. We are breaking down the Tuesday, the 19th of May, 2026 episode. And let me tell you, the emotional fallout from this resurrection plot is giving me absolute chills. Let's get right into it. Let's be real for a second. Abe Carver actually thanking E.J. DiMera? That's crazy. But that is exactly what we are going to see. Abe runs into E.J., and instead of throwing hands or arresting him for his usual DiMera crimes, Abe expresses profound gratitude to the villain for bringing Lexi back to life. I mean, can you believe it? We are talking about a DiMera here. E.J. orchestrated this massive, secret resurrection project with Gwen Rizchek's funding, and his motives are always questionable. But for Abe, it doesn't matter. The love of his life, his epic soulmate, is breathing again. I actually think this move from Abe is heartbreakingly brilliant because it shows just how much Lexi means to him. It strips away decades of police versus crime family rivalry. But here's the kicker. E.J. is not Stefano. E.J. doesn't do things out of the goodness of his heart. I guarantee you E.J. is going to use Abe's gratitude as a get-out-of-jail-free card down the line. Remember when Stefano used to pull these strings? The Phoenix would always give you exactly what you wanted, only to rip your soul out later. E.J. is playing the exact same long game, and Abe is walking right into a massive emotional trap. The DiMera family never offers a miracle without a steep, soul-crushing price tag attached. E.J. is currently double-crossing Gwen on the funding for this very project, so you know his moral compass is completely shattered. Abe's gratitude is genuine, but E.J.'s acceptance of it is purely transactional. And speaking of massive emotional traps, we have to talk about the impending explosion between Lexi Carver and Paulina Price. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the soapy goodness we live for. Up until now, Lexi has been reacclimating to the land of the living, completely unaware that her beloved Abe has moved on and tied the knot with someone else. But tomorrow, the secret is out. Lexi finally discovers that Abe is married, and she immediately demands a face-to-face meeting with Paulina. Boom. Plot twist of the century. I absolutely love Lexi. She is a legacy character with so much fire. But my heart is bleeding for Paulina right now. Paulina has fought tooth and nail to build a stable life with Abe. She survived abusive relationships, family secrets, and literal life-threatening health scares just to finally find her safe haven in Abe Carver's arms. And now, she is already an emotional wreck, crying to Marlena Evans, terrified that she is going to lose her husband to a ghost who just walked back through the front door. Marlena is doing her best to counsel her. But how do you compete with a legendary love story that spans decades? A lot of fans think Lexi is going to come in swinging and try to destroy Paulina, but I actually think something much deeper is happening here. This isn't your typical trashy other woman storyline. Both of these women are fiercely intelligent, and they both know Abe is trapped in an impossible position. Lexi isn't just demanding to meet Paulina to mark her territory. I think she needs to look into the eyes of the woman who took care of her family, her son Theo, while she was trapped in whatever scientific purgatory E.J. pulled her out of. But let's not sugarcoat it. The tension is going to be thick enough to cut with a knife. Lexi is a DiMera by blood, and she has that signature assertiveness, while Paulina is deeply insecure and highly defensive right now. I predict this meeting is going to start civil and end in absolute tears. It reminds me so much of the classic Salem love triangles from 10 years ago, where nobody is truly the villain, but everyone is in immense pain. Who are you rooting for? Team Lexi or Team Paulina? Let me know in the comments, because I am honestly torn. Now, while the adults are navigating this messy love triangle, Theo Carver is dealing with his own emotional overload. Having your mom miraculously return from the dead is enough to send anyone into a tailspin, and Theo desperately needs someone to confide in. But who does he turn to? Gabi Hernandez. Amazing. I did not see this coming, but I am entirely here for it. Theo opens up to Gabi, and surprisingly, she is going to be an incredibly supportive and listening ear. We all know Gabi has a fierce, overbearing, and heavily manipulative streak, especially lately with how she's handling Liam and Ariana. But underneath all that paranoia and scheming, Gabi has a heart, and she knows what it's like to lose family and feel completely isolated in Salem. She lost Stefan. She spent time in prison. She knows the dark side of life. So, when she sits down with Theo, she isn't judging him. But wait, there is a massive complication brewing here. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that Theo's vulnerability might be sparking something more. Could Theo be developing a massive crush on Gabi? Oh, absolutely. It makes total sense psychologically. He is overwhelmed. She is providing a safe harbor, and boom, transference of feelings. I think this is going to get incredibly messy because Gabi is currently involved with Philip Kyriakis. Philip is already trying to warn Gabi to back off her manipulative parenting schemes with Liam. So imagine how he's going to react if he realizes a young Theo Carver is catching feelings for his woman. Philip is seasoned. He knows the signs of a brewing disaster. It's a recipe for absolute chaos, and knowing Gabi, she might just use Theo's crush to her advantage if she needs a pawn in one of her future games against the Demaras. I hate to say it, but Gabi rarely does anything out of pure altruism. Moving over to the Kyriakis mansion, we have some surprisingly tender moments mixed with nostalgic callback. Joy Wesley and Alex Kyriakis are officially moving forward with their co-parenting plans, and they are filing an amended birth certificate for their infant daughter, Kelsey. Joy suggests giving the baby the middle name Adrian. You guys, I actually teared up reading this. What a beautiful, full circle moment. Longtime fans know exactly how much Adrian Kyriakis meant to Alex and the entire Kyriakis family. Judy Evans brought so much warmth to that role, and having Alex honor his late mother this way is a massive step in his emotional growth. It proves he isn't just the playboy we used to know. He is stepping up to be a real father, grounding himself in the Kyriakis legacy. Adrian was the heart and soul of that family, and bringing her name back to the canvas through this new generation is a masterstroke by the writers. Meanwhile, Joy is also going to cross paths and reconnect with Philip Kyriakis. Fans of the show within a show, Body and Soul, will remember that Philip was a huge rock for Joy during her time there. He was incredibly supportive, and seeing them reconnect now in Salem brings a great dynamic to the canvas. Philip is a seasoned Salem resident, and he knows how quickly things can go sideways in this town, especially with his family's dark history. With everything going on with Gabi's overbearing nature, Philip might just find a refreshing, drama-free connection with Joy. They share a mutual respect from the trenches of daytime television production. I wouldn't be surprised if the writers are secretly testing their chemistry for a future romantic pairing. Honestly, Philip deserves someone who isn't constantly plotting against half the town, and Joy could be that breath of fresh air he desperately needs. Finally, we need to talk about the ticking time bomb that is Alex and Stephanie Johnson's marriage. Spoilers for tomorrow reveal that Alex and Stephanie are going to share a highly romantic moment. They seem to be in an okay place right now, smiling and holding each other. But let's be brutally honest, how long is this really going to last? I give it a week, tops. This romantic moment feels like the calm before the ultimate storm. Just yesterday, Stephanie made a brutal confession to Alex about her trauma from the kidnapping and her deep-seated reluctance to accept his new baby. She is fragile, traumatized, and fiercely setting boundaries because her mental health is hanging by a literal thread. The kidnapping chaos wasn't just a bump in the road. It fundamentally altered her sense of safety. And you won't believe what happens next. Stephanie is getting more clients, which means she is going to bury herself in her work. It's a classic avoidance tactic. She is drowning herself in work, so she doesn't have to go home and face the reality of another woman's child monopolizing her husband's heart. Alex is falling more in love with his daughter every single day, and Stephanie is running in the opposite direction. I think Alex is completely blind to how much pain his wife is in, wrapped up in his own little baby bubble. Steve Johnson already paid Alex a surprise visit to warn him to protect Stephanie's heart, but Alex is living in a total